Welcome to the screencast all about data collection for your research after you have gathered the participants' responses with regards to your research questionnaire that talks about data collection. It may sound late, but it's also related to your um, survey or the part of your learnings for our subject. So data collection. Our today's agenda is to identify the meaning of data collection, determine the different or the research instrument rather and its different kind, and you are able to differentiate the different types of tests and questionnaire and then survey. So, for data collection, it is an activity that allows the researcher to obtain relevant information regarding the specified research questions or objectives. The moment na nag-send kayo ng link for your participants, the moment you talk to them and then orient them what will happen or give them background information kung ano ang gagawin nila for your research, that is a form of data collection. Okay? There is no other research term for gathering responses or gathering information from your participants. Walang iba kundi ang tawag doon data collection. Hindi siya pag ang interview at ang pagsa-survey ay under lang siya ng data collection. Pero the general term of that would be data collection. Okay, kasi nga, nagko-collect kayo ng data. Eh, ano ba ang data na kailangan ninyo for your participants? It's their responses, it's their answers. So that's data collection. It is also performed through utilizing instruments which the researcher has developed or adapted for the study. Now, can you still remember the three ways on how to develop a research instrument? First, you can adapt. Kung anong makita sa internet, kung anong makitang related, you can download it with proper citation, of course. You can use that for the betterment of your paper, or you can use that to collect data from your participants. But when we say develop, it can be modified or it can be created by you. But you know that when you create your research instrument, you have to undergo with the process of validity and reliability na kung saan ginawa natin, most of you. We have done validity. I have checked the appearance. I have checked the button of your Google Forms. I have checked your grammar. I have checked the indicators kung tama ba or sinasagot ba niya yung question. So, ayun ang develop for create your own. When we say modified, you have seen a research instrument from a certain research sa internet and then nilapat ninyo or should I say, nilagay ninyo yung point ng research ninyo sa papel nila. Okay, you have modified it. But the essence of it would be putting lang the idea na meron kayo na to na gagamitin nyo or iibahin nyo talaga sila lahat. Okay? So, quantitative research instrument includes questionnaires, tests, interviews, and observation. When we say questionnaire, ito yung pinagawa ko sa inyo, yung Likert scale questionnaire. When I say test, of course, if your research will have scores, kailangan may test na kung saan may sasagutan, tas may magva-vary yung sagot or yung scores. Interviews naman are done when you are collecting data from the participants, yung stories naman nila. But somehow, it's part of qualitative research instrument. And of course, observation. So, what would be the real definition between questionnaire and then survey? Pag sinabing questionnaire, di ba, it is the paper-based or electronic tool for collecting information about a particular research interest. Originally, when we are conducting a research, lalo na kapag normal ang panahon, paper-based talaga siya. Pinapa-print, pinapa-photocopy, kung ilan ang participants, ipapa-photocopy. Kung magki-create your own ka, kailangan syempre valid siya, physical appearance, di ba, nandoon. Okay? When I say electronic tool, ito yung ginawa ninyo, which is the link for your Google form, and then it was sent to your participants. So that's a form of questionnaire or Google form. For collecting information about a particular research interest, you would like to research about your topic, then ngayong panahon na to, abnormal ang panahon, walang maayos na communication through face-to-face, imposible mangyari yung paper-based. That's why nagawa tayo for electronic tool. Now, survey, okay, medyo mali lang to. Ang survey ay part of doing, or ito yun, made up of list of questions or indicators. Okay? Ang survey ay yung form. Okay? Yung form ng pagbibigay ng list of questions or indicators. It is the act of giving the list of questions or indicators. Usually, naka-Likert scale siya. One good example is Likert scale, or some other pronounce it as Likert scale, which uses ratings denoting participants' level of agreement with specific agreement. If you would like to focus on frequency, gaano kadalas na ginagawa mo tong bagay na to, if ganun yung mga tanong mo, you can use always, frequently, sometimes, seldom, and rarely into 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Katulad ng ginawa nyo, di ba? But, nagbabago yan. Hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon always, frequently, sometimes, seldom, rarely, into. Hindi siya laging ganyan. Nagbabago siya depending on the agreement. Later, I will present the different kinds of agreement. There are different types of questionnaire. Diba sabi ko ang questionnaire, it can be a paper-based or electronic tool. Pero may tatlo siyang uri. Structured, unstructured, and then semi-structured. Pag sinabi nating structured, it uses close-ended questions or indicators. Isang tanong, isang sagot. That's structured. Diba? Tignan niyo yung research instrument niyo. Isang statement, nangangailangan lang ng isang sagot. Hindi pwedeng magdalawa. Some of you have experienced na ma'am, dalawa po yung kinlik ng participants namin. That's wrong. Invalid yun. Kasi hindi pwede na sa isang statement, dadalawa yung sagot mo. Kasi nasaan tayo? Nasa responses tayo. Nasa Likert scale tayo. Na kung saan structured ang Likert scale. It uses close-ended kasi nagbigay ka ng isang statement eh. Unlike unstructured, the participants are allowed to respond to open-ended questions. May sagot na sila, okay? Or yung sagot nila, it can be explanation. Katulad sa isang interview, unstructured yon. Katulad sa isang pageant, 'di ba sa pageant pag tinanong sila ng judges, the 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 contestant or the girl would answer it in a broad manner. As in yung malawak, as in yung with explanation, because that's unstructured. But when we say unstructured, isang statement, isang tanong, nangangailangan lang siya ng isang sagot. For example, naligo ka na ba? Yes or no. Kumain ka na ba? Yes or no. Okay? Yun lang ang sagot natin for structured. Okay? Pwede rin naman, yung ginawa nyo nga na Likert scale, part siya ng structured kasi isa lang ang kailangan natin. Isang frequency ng tinitignan natin, isang level of agreement lang. When I say semi-structured, pinaghalo yung dalawa. May sagot ka na isa, tapos may follow-up pa siya na explanation. For example, um, are you in favor of academic ease? Yes. That's structured. Why? That's unstructured. So, pag ginawa mo yun sa research instrument mo ng dalawahan, ang tawag doon semi-structured. Has characteristics of both structured and unstructured type. It is composed of both closed and open-ended question. Basta pag pinagsama na yung structured tsaka unstructured, semi-structured ang tawag natin doon. Isang tanong, isang sagot, structured. Isang tanong, malawak na sagot, ang tawag doon, unstructured. Now, these are the other form of indicators in doing a Likert scale in your research instrument. Pag belief ang pinag-uusapan, paniniwala, or gaano ka naniniwala or gaano mo nasasabi or gaano ka in favor sa isang bagay, sa isang statement, ang indicator mo dun is belief. Strongly agree, yan as 5. 4 is agree, neutral 3, 2 disagree, and then 1 strongly disagree. Pag belief ang pinag-usapan. Pag behavior naman ng isang bata or ng isang participant ang gusto mong tukuyin, ang gusto mong sukatin, the indicators would be very great extent, moderate, small extent, or none at all. Ito, common yung frequency, gaano kadalas. Yan, mga always, frequently, sometimes, seldom, never. And when you are talking about quality of a certain thing, you are pertaining to the excellent, very good, good, fair, and then poor. So be careful lang when you are using the indicators. Tignan nyo muna yung questions niyo or yung statement. Kung talaga bang kung talagang nasasagot siya ng indicator ninyo. Hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon, guys, frequency. Tignan nyo muna yung statement ninyo. Now, you have to check, of course, your instrument if you have done a good one. Okay, if you have done a right one for your indicators. We have also here tests as a form of questionnaire, ay as a form of questionnaire for data collection. Naalala nyo kanina, 'di ba, sabi ko it can be questionnaire. Okay? Sa questionnaire, ano ang ulit ang three types? We have structured, unstructured, and then semi-structured. Another form ng pag-data collection natin is tests. They are the quantitative research instruments used mainly for assessing various skills and types of behaviors as well as to describe certain characteristics. Ayun nga, yung IQ, scores, nandyan. We have two types of tests. We have standardized and then non-standardized. Pag sinabing standardized, scored uniformly across different areas and groups. Siya yung exam, siya yung test na kung saan wide range of groups or students or test takers can understand it. For example, nag-aaral ako magmaneho, mag-drive. Pag nag-exam ako sa LTO, lahat ng inaral ko all about driving. Pag in-exam ko yun, nasa exam ko, ang tawag doon standardized. Okay? Kukuhanan siya ng score across different areas and groups. Pag non-standardized, may not be scored uniformly across different areas and groups, specific set of people. Katulad ng mga NMAT. Okay? Di ba ang NMAT, para lang talaga siya doon sa mga magdodoktor, magpipremed. Hindi lahat pwedeng mag-NMAT. Okay? Kunyari, gusto mo talaga mag-teacher. Pero ang kinuha mo is NMAT. Nag-NMAT ka para tawag dito, medicine. Hindi siya pwedeng ma-scored uniformly with your group kasi nga, hindi ka naman magdodoktor. Sabi mo magti-teacher ka. So, it is meant for specific set of people. Pero pag standardized, kahit sino pwede. Doktor, abogado, police, teacher, kahit sino pwede mag-aral. Kahit estudyante pwede mag-aral magmaneho. Pero pag nag-exam sila, standardized yun. Yung i-examine nila sa LTO. Pero pag non-standardized, hindi lahat nakakapagsagot nun. Kunyari, yung mga board exam, ayan, mga board exam. Hindi lahat pwedeng magsagot ng, or hindi lahat pwede mag-apply ng board exam based sa isang set of people. You might be wondering naman bakit may kilala ko, ang course niya is business. Tapos sabay, nagtuturo na siya ngayon, tas license pa siya as licensed professional teacher. Yes, pwede yun. Pero kasi bago niya makuha yung board exam na yun, dumaan muna siya sa mga units of teaching. May kinuha pa siyang course para maging specific set of people siya within that course. Hindi yun basta-basta. Okay, so non-standardized, basta yung mga exam na hindi para sa lahat. Meron lang siyang common for that people or set of people, non-standardized. Pero pag standardized ang iyong test na gagamitin, pwede siya sa lahat. We have two common examples. Kanina naman, ito ay types. Types yan. Ito naman, example of test. Achievement, standardized test, which measures the extent of the skills and the knowledge that a person has acquired after a period of time. Naalala niyo si National Achievement Test? Lahat ng natutunan natin simula grade 1 hanggang grade 6, tinest natin ng grade 6 because that's achievement test. Supposedly, you have achievement tests also ngayong grade 12 kaso hindi po pwedeng mangyari dahil nga ganito ang panahon. Aptitude naman assesses one's skills and knowledge to predict one's ability to perform a certain kind of work. Ito yung NCAE, yung National Career Examination Test. Examination test. Tama, NCAE, yung parang mag-exam ka tapos sabi may predict niya yung future mo. Ay, ito magiging farmer, ito magiging businessman, ito magiging pare. Di ba may ganon? So that's NCAA or the aptitude. Pag achievement test, knowledge ang pinag-uusapan. Knowledge and then um, that acquired after a period of time. Yung aptitude naman, pinagsama ng skills and knowledge to predict yung kind of work na mangyayari sa'yo in the near future. That's common example of this. Meron pa, observation and then interviews. Pag sinabing observation, of course, you as a researcher will immerse yourself, okay, to the participants na gusto mong i-observe. So that would be our next discussion next week, which would be observation and then interviews. But today, we have discussed the the two parts or the two kinds of questionnaire muna. We have two types of questionnaire. We have the Likert Scale 1, which is the structured, unstructured, semi-structured, yung research questionnaire natin na yun. And then types of tests, which is standardized and non-standardized. standardized test. So please watch this video and then stay tuned for your quiz. Thank you.